Yo, what up? We are now live. Welcome, everybody. Oh, yeah, there we go. Got the beats going now. I'm liking it. What's up, Michael? What's up, man?
What's up? I'm trying to get into this moderation chat. I can't get in there. Oh, I wasn't signed in apparently. Okay, here we go.
There you go. Boom. We got Pat. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
We're good. We're jamming out.
Sorry,
we got everybody.
The delay. I had some trouble logging in.
Oh, yeah. No worries. All good. I know we got Aria going to be joining us here in a few, so that's going to be cool. Let me see here. Let me go over Moonbeam chat. What's up, everybody? I see you all there. How's it going? Welcome. So, Michael and Pat, if you go over to the new carousel, which we'll talk about later on, we're on there. And join in chat. You can see everybody hanging out. What's up? Timothy, Tyra, meow. I love it. Meow. You know, we've actually had conversations, meow, about allowing 3-letter usernames because of you. So there's a chance Cat might come open. You know, I'm just saying. It's a thing.
That is a very real thing. I want it just for that case.
Yeah, we've had fun about that. Let's see here. What's up, everybody? See, we got some folks over at Twitch, Cloud Surfer, Captivator. What's going on? I'm gonna pop over here and got Aria.
Wait, Cloud Surfer 808. That's one of those pre-generated names from the script.
What's up, Aria? How you doing? All right. Well, it's let me see. I'm like liking the music. I feel like I'm in Friday night nightclub or something. Yeah, meow. If it opens up, the deal on the table is Cat is going to you. So
absolutely,
rest assured. Cool. Well, let's jump into things. How's everybody? Well, chat. Hope you had a great week. I'm in Kansas City. We got snowed in, and yeah, it's been a heck of a week. Pat, Aria, Brandon. Sorry, Michael. What about you all? I know it's been a week for you all as the engineering team.
No, it really has. Yeah, this has been a wild week. Super busy. I fortunately didn't get too much snow, so but I didn't have much reason to leave my apartment either way with the release schedule we had. So it's been a wild week here on my end of things. How about you, Michael and Aria?
No snow here.
No snow. Yeah, just rain.
No snow.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
It's been an interesting week because we got the snow here in Kansas, and then Jark, who's our head of design in California, near those fires. So we've had like wild weather people on the team are dealing with, and hopefully people in California and Jark and them are safe. I know right now they're safe. But it's just wild to see just like insane fires and then like record-breaking snowstorms like in the same week. It's really weird, but
yeah,
here we are.
No, yeah, there's some wild weather all around. And greetings from LA. Safe here, but so many folks' lives disrupted. Otherwise good. Yeah.
Hey, Bob. Yeah. I hope you're safe over there. I hope anybody else, who's out there in that area is staying safe, because that's no joke. So
yeah, that's scary. So hope everybody's staying safe.
Yeah. It's been so let's see here. What do we want to talk about? I mean, we got the changelog, and Pat, I kind of want you to maybe frame for everybody before we jump into questions. So everybody feel free to start thinking about some questions, but what we'll do is Pat had this plan to kind of have this week of just wild feature updates and pushes and stuff like that. And so Pat, you want to frame everybody for what exactly the plan was, and then what happened. I know Aria here was leading some of those, and Michael was involved as well. So we could touch on what you did and how it turned out. But yeah, over to you, Pat.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was we definitely, like part of the release process is, and I mean like the alpha release, like going from 0 to like, oh, we have this app now that we have to maintain, is figuring out processes and solving bugs. And that's what we were doing. But at the same time, we were getting all this incredible feedback from people and all these features that we want to build, experiences that we wanted to make better. And then the holidays came around, and so it was just like, oh, okay, like let's plan, let's get something in action. And then we hit 2025 running earlier this week. So I made a pretty aggressive release timeline. I remember on Monday going over it, and it was just like, okay, yeah, this is quite a bit of stuff. I'm not sure what your all's reactions were, Michael and Arya, seeing that on Monday, because it was some of the work had been done, of course, right? But some of it had definitely not been done, and so it was a tall order. But we hit our deadlines for the most part. There's a bit of a disruption on Wednesday with GitHub, which is how we release our code. So some things here and there happened, but yeah, we shipped tons of features. I'm really excited to go over them all. But honestly, I'd love to hear like candid thoughts. Michael, Arya, what did you think when you saw that release schedule on Monday?
When I saw that, I called Brandon. I was like, "You ready for this week?" Especially when I saw him on 2 of the days, I was like, "Oh boy."
That's amazing. Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
How about you, Arya?
It was super fast paced, but it was fun. It was fun. I think I learned a lot during this week, and like I was able to code a lot of different things that I hadn't worked on before.
Yep. Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna be a piece of cake. No, I'm kidding. I saw it all, and I was like, wow, this is gonna be cool. Speaking of which, we have one of the new features that Tyra just tested out. Tyra
nice.
Firesong, and it's the moonstone tipping. So yeah, that was one of the big ones we wanted to really tackle right away. Who was in charge of that one? And want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Actually, Brandon is not here to talk about that. So that was Brandon's work. I saw that just pop up in the messages, and I was like, oh shoot, because it looks so good. It looks so nice. I love seeing that. So thank you, Tyra Firesong, for that and for showcasing that feature. But yeah, Brandon tackled that. That was something that we really, really wanted to ship for at the initial alpha release, but it required a couple pieces that hadn't really fallen into place. And so we didn't want to ship a bad experience with that and then have to kind of like make up ground to fix it. And so we made the hard call, and it was a hard call, to not release that at alpha. But we made the hard call not to release it, and then this week we shipped it, and it took a bit of development to like get those the gradient borders, get them working well across browsers in different contexts with our current kind of design standard, but it worked out really nicely and kind of clicked into place when everything else had been developed. So it was pretty sweet. I think it's great. I love looking at that message. I actually might need to like hide that message now because it's kind of distracting. It looks so good.
Yeah, it's definitely one that I love. And this is like the first iteration of it. I'm sure it's going to evolve, and but the idea of just recognition, right? Because being a streamer, you got to have fans, and the fans are important, and recognition is important. I know we talked about anonymous tipping. That was a suggestion there as well. And that's all stuff we want to do. So we want to make it very cool, fun, and seamless so that anyone can give. And we actually have the team set up. Arya, I invited you to the Moonbeam team that I was streaming, so I can give the splits here too to everybody. So that's the other thing I love, is like we can all start getting splits and stuff. Pat, I know you are connected to me right now, and so you should have seen something happen in your account for that. But yeah, it's and the other thing too is like the little emoji reactions. We can actually see now who left them. So that was one thing we wanted to do as well. That's really cool. So yeah, I mean, let's talk about Arya. What releases were you kind of spearheading this week that you want to talk about for the group?
Yeah, for sure. I was working on a lot of small bug fixes. Things like I know the follow button was a little slow for people when they're going on user profile pages. So I worked on speeding that up, adding some enhancements. A big thing I worked on was also adding tags to posts. Unfortunately, it looks like that might not get shipped this week, but very exciting to see that happen. And I think tagging in general will be really nice to see across the platform, so people can kind of filter by what they want.
Heck yeah. So how will that kind of work for tagging in posts? How do you envision that? Just like different categories, or like what's your?
I mean, we're leaving it up to the user. Like they can make whatever tags they want for their realm, and you know, whatever suits their needs, really.
And we do have. Let me see here if I could pull up for Moonbeam realm tag suggestions. So everybody, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. But if you are a realm owner, we have the Moonbeam realm tags out as well. Let me copy this over. And you can leave suggestions of what you want. Let's see here. Realm tag.
Hey, wait, were realm tags also shipped this week?
Yeah, they were.
No way.
So. They were.
Oh my gosh, this has been such a long week.
Yeah.
No way. What release were realm tags in? I thought that was.
That was the beginning of the week, I think.
Yeah, Monday. That was on Friday or Monday. Oberon.
Oh that was the Oberon release. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah. That was the Oberon release. So we got realm tags. And, you know, when we talked about realm tags, Pat, it was like, hey, I remember you came and you're like, what realm tag should we put in here? And I was like, 5. You had like 100 tags almost. It was pretty odd. I'm like 5. And, you know, we talked about it. We're like, the tags, they should reflect what we have on Moonbeam now, and as we evolve and go forward and grow, it should reflect that. Like, and it's kind of neat. I feel like it's kind of neat for us as like a platform to think that way, because so many platforms we join, it's like top down, like here it is, and you know, you're like this doesn't relate to me or whatever. So it's cool to like actually be able to have the reins and be like, no, people should suggest them, and then we'll make those the tags that are available. You know,
and trying to like think about that evolving. You know, like if you're streaming a game and there's like we want to display the game right under the stream, like having some sort of mechanism where people can say like, hey, like I love this game, and yeah, maybe it's not like top of the charts right now being played everywhere, but it's this game that I love and my community loves. Having like a really easy way so that we can give that game or give that genre, right, whatever it is you're streaming, like the same treatment that like, you know, this great game would get, and making it really visible and easy to find, and discoverable, right? So yeah, I'm excited to see how that evolves. The realm tag suggestions, tagging suggestions. As Arya pointed out, a big thing with the post tags particularly is that will live within your realm. So like you get to define what those tags are. It could be different games that you play. It could be things like announcements or something, or updates, or it could be different types of streams that you do. It's really just like up to you about how you want to implement that with posts in your realm. So
nice.
It's pretty cool.
I'm excited. And then Michael, app stuff. Talk about those.
It's coming.
It's coming. Well, we had you had some big breakthroughs with Google in getting the what was it, closed testing, right?
Yeah, we got closed testing.
Okay, so for all of our Android users out there, you should now be able to get access to our app if you give us your Google Play account. You just have to submit it to us. I have a post in our realm about that. Let me see if I find it in chat. But anything you want to talk about that's coming up while I look for this thing to share in chat so they could add their Android account. Michael from mobile.
Yeah, the big thing this week is push notifications is going to be huge. So that'll be coming. Hopefully, maybe I can get it out tomorrow, and I'll just push out a release with just push notifications.
Just look at that. He's bold move. I'm gonna put this here. So this is for Android. Let's see here. And anyway, we could see the list so far, so we know. Oh, I see. Tyra, you're asking about realm tags. I will. So right now, we'll think about that. I thought it would be kind of neat for people to suggest, and then we could see where there's kind of emphasis on multiple people doing one, and we can kind of get patterns that way. I didn't want to like bias the results for realm tags, but we'll release those soon, maybe. I think, and then we'll allow people to suggest more. That way, you don't feel like you wasted your vote if there was duplicates, right? Don't want that to happen. All right, I'm putting the form right now in chat for everyone who has Android. make sure you put your Google Play account. And then, Michael, when do you think you can run that list for everybody?
I can do it right now. I can do it tonight.
Android. Okay, let's
Are
see
we
here.
doing it live?
We'll do it live.
Android app access form. I'm gonna put that in the other chat here. Boom. So yeah, you should be able to put your Google Play in there. Michael's gonna run it. Ari, I know you got to leave here in 15 minutes. So, do you want to fill folks in on, you're creator yourself. You do video content. I'm curious if you want to share with the audience here just what you think of how Moonbeam is approaching this, and from your context as a creator, where you see it going, and just what can they kind of think about the future of Moonbeam.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I make YouTube videos for fun. I'm not really a streamer. So that whole space is still a little new, but I watch live streams. I enjoy watching them. And I think the cool thing about live streams too is that it's such an intimate experience, right? You can have maybe 5 people in a chat room, but you're still, having a lot of fun. On YouTube, if you get 5 views, it's a little different. There's not as many people they can look to. So I really enjoy making YouTube videos. And I think Moonbeam in general feels like we're putting the creator first. In a lot of the design choices. And I think that is a far cry from what we see on most, honestly, streaming platforms nowadays. So I think we're kind of making that step in the right direction. And as a creator, I would be super happy to try streaming and see if Moonbeam is kind of better for that experience overall. Because I know Twitch, you have to stream 2 to 3 hours at least a day. And I just don't have that kind of time.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw something out there for you all. This was on my mind today, and Pat, no one's heard this, so this is live, right?
Let's go.
This everybody sees. This is how this stuff works at Moonbeam. Like, this is how we kind of evolve stuff. But I was thinking about the streaming grind, and realms are set up where we kind of are alleviating that, right? But I think about when you do something for a long time. Even if you love it, it's just not sustainable, but you want to feel rewarded for it. You want to have like the high score, I accomplished something vibe. And I thought, damn, it'd be so cool if Moonbeam had like streaming seasons like video games have. And maybe they're like 3 months long. And in that you could earn like a different tier, like the platinum tier, the diamond tier of various things of like how many hours you stream, how many viewers you get, how many moonstones you collect, whatever. But it's like the season approach. That way you can like, hey, for this month, I want to stream. Cool. I jump in, I do the season, bang, I got my little prizes, whatever, my cool prestige, and then I'm out. And then, when the seasons recycle, the thing starts again. Kind of like, what is it? Rivals does that. Overwatch does that, right? A lot of those games. I don't know if anybody in chat likes that idea or if it's way off, but I thought that'd be a cool way to approach accomplishments in your creative career. Because we all know you're going to need breaks, and I thought that'd be a cool way to condense it, get cool rewards, and I don't know. That's just my thought. Let's see here. All right, let's do some quick questions real quick. All right, I'm looking at Moonbeam chat. Badges, our thing, the bug badges and stuff. What are we thinking about badges coming up? You have any? What do you want to talk about on badges?
Thinking about badges all the time, actually. I love badges. I think that, so we are still sort of finalizing what our design of badges will be. Suffice it to say that we've given this a great deal of thought. I mean, every time I go on Moonbeam, I just like looking at the badges. And I think that's a feature that a lot of people love too. So we've gotten lots of feedback on it. We are, I don't want to say like rethinking, like going to rebuild the way we handle badges, but we're rethinking a lot of like the support for badges. We want to be able to like add more badges to the profile, have different badges mean different things. So yeah, badges going to get a lot of attention in the future. That's something that we've heard over and over again. And one thing that I do want to point out too, this is a little off topic, but there are some authentication issues that were brought up. And I do want to just point out that we are trying to figure out what that is. Part of our latest release actually was shipping some tools to help us figure out what's going on there. So if you do find yourself getting logged out, if there's any sort of info they want to give on that, file a bug report about like, hey, this always happens when I'm on my tablet, but not on my laptop or whatever it is. Let us know. But we did just ship some some logging that will help us figure out exactly what's happening there for people. So hoping to figure that out soon and ship a better experience. So badges and authentication logging, so we can figure out what's happening.
I think I helped to work on badges, actually, if I'm not mistaken, and that was super fun to implement. I think badges in general are just an underrated part of like user customizability. Like on Twitch, I know people like to show off their badges as well, and I hope on Moonbeam we can have that kind of like robust support for a lot of different badges, maybe even some rare ones. I feel like that would be cool for like the collectability aspect of it. But
oh yeah, we gotta have some rare badges. And yeah, you're right, you shipped profile badges. Yeah, and that was fortunately before alpha. We figured that would be a big selling point. People love badges. I love badges, and these badges look so good. So
yeah,
so it's nice to see.
We had Joanne, I think, is doing a meeting next week. She's head of product, and we have a big meeting. We're all going to be talking about everything badges under the sun. So I'm excited about that.
Right now it's scheduled for an hour, but I have a feeling it's going to be like a 3-hour like lunch meeting.
It'll be something too that's cool. And I'll kind of like, before we go to the next kind of question here, I think with badges, what's neat is we've kind of talked about even that marketplace approach, where maybe a realm could make their own badges, or there's a marketplace where people could sell badges they create that are like approved for the platform, and they just get moonstones. It's another way for creators to get involved in Moonbeam. I could see people doing badges for charity, and charities raise money that way or something.
That's a great idea. I love that.
Yeah. I think it'd be pretty cool for stuff like that. Let's see here. All right, other questions. Feature suggestions, blah blah blah. Let's see here. Is there a feature suggestion system, or do we just have bug tracking? Well, right now in the Moonbeam realm, there is a channel for features to be suggested, and we look at that all the time. But I'll open it up to you, Pat. Is that good enough? Or, what do you think? Would you tell people go to Moonbeam realm and submit there for now?
Yeah, that's awesome. And honestly, feel free to use the like bug tracker as well and that icon. Lots of people have been doing both. We go through all of those like fairly often. The one good thing about the bug tracker is that is like looped in immediately to our whole system of how we develop things and prioritize them. So so there is that. But yeah, that Moonbeam realm chat channel for suggestion on the features is awesome. Yeah, that one works great too.
Nice. Okay, let's see here. Here's a cool one. This is from YouTube. I'm just gonna put this up here. Set your own goal badge. Pretty cool. I like that.
That would be nice.
Yeah, kind of like the power is yours. Optimus Prime voice and stuff like that. Let's see. Hey, Syrup, we got some folks here. Keith Lamont, Allen. I see Captivator. We got a bunch of folks over at the Moonbeam chat. Any questions or anything specific? Syrup, I know you've been helping us out. We got the change log out as Waffles wanted. We're that change log is, I love it. I think it's really cool to see all the releases there. And Pat, does each engineer in charge of their release do that, or do you kind of oversee everything that? How does that work?
No, yeah, exactly. So if you're on point for the release, so you're kind of guiding it through the release process, then yeah, you write the change log. So Aria wrote a change log. Aria had, I think, your first release this week.
Yeah, I was excited.
Was that yesterday?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, all the days have really blended together.
Working together, yeah.
But yeah, and then you wrote the change log for that one too. So yeah, if you're in charge of the release, you write the patch notes, the change log, and then we post that as well. I think with the change log site, you can see we did this starting in November, but then we had to ship so many things for alpha so quickly that we sort of didn't prioritize updating the change log, and now we're back in that cadence, and it's so nice. It's so cool to like look back and be like, oh wow, look at all this stuff we did. I don't know, I've scrolled through the change log, and it's just nice to like see a real tangible like transcript of the of the changes. It's nice.
Yeah. I think too it gives the community faith in what we're doing. What I mean is like, yo, we've all been there. We've all backed the Kickstarter or that backer kit project that like 5 years later you're like, all right, I just lost some money, whatever. You know, and I think it is like a good show of faith for us to show all the progress and the updates, because something about just reading it and being like, oh wow, yeah, and just seeing like the little nuances is from my perspective, it's a way of us fulfilling the contract we made with everybody, right, to join us early on. So I think I look at it for that reason. I think it's a very good tool.
I love that. No, I think that's exactly right. It is it's that transparency, you know, like we really value that, just like through and through, from the product details to how we implement things, how we choose what to develop. That is like such a vital part of who we are and what we're trying to do. So it's nice to extend that to like, hey, we did launch this stuff. And even those things that like are not like the most exciting for somebody, like we did ship a change in the way we log things, so that when people are getting logged out or signed out, we can track that a little bit better and try to debug why that happened. That's not, you know, like a super exciting feature. It will be very exciting when we ship the change that fixes that problem. But, you know, all of those sorts of features, they take a great deal of time to develop, to review, to test. And so sometimes those change logs, you know, this week was super, super, super exciting, but sometimes even just saying like, hey, yeah, we shipped new tests because we had to really quickly develop a feature and we didn't have time to like really build out a super robust test suite for it. You know, that it's the same amount of time that it might take to ship a really cool feature. And so there's still a great deal of work going on behind the scenes, even when it's not like super flashy. And I like the changelog because of that. You know, it's I don't want to like not put things on the changelog, even if it is those like logging or like, yeah, we updated our tests to capture this one bug that we found. You know, those sorts of things belong on the changelog because it's work that we're doing to make the platform better.
Absolutely. And Ari, I know you got to jump ship, so final thoughts from you, and then we'll continue on with some questions here. But final thoughts, Arya.
Oh man, I'm so excited for people to get their hands on a lot of the new features that we released. Excited to see the reaction. I also see this comment from Nami. I think that's a One Piece reference. That's awesome. Badge makers are totally a thing. Etsy sellers sell badges for Twitch. I'd love to have a diverse creator economy on Moonbeam. I feel like that would be such a cool idea. I mean, even in just tabletop RPGs, people make homebrews and sell them all the time, right? So I think Moonbeam could be the place for that. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, thanks for everything this week you've done. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you around.
See you guys.
Sorry.
Later. Let's see here. We got some other questions. Captivator's got a good one. All right. I'm going to ask the elephant in the room. I like it. This is very dramatic. I'm going to ask the elephant in the room question. Most of us love having background music on our streams. How is music handled on Moonbeam regarding DMCA stuff? Well, that's a legal question, and if Jeffrey was here, Jeffrey would answer that. And the question, it can be answered very simply. We follow the letter of the law. That's how we do it. We follow the law. You know, as we grow and you know, get bigger, you will probably see a lot of the automated processes to handle that. But we respect creators, right? And that goes to people who make music. So that's kind of how I see it. And legal requirements. So you know, hopefully, you know, there's a lot in the future that we could do with music. And what I mean by doing stuff with music, making it easier for folks to use music, maybe through some way built in on Moonbeam. That's kind of like some really far out stuff. I know, Pat, you and I have mentioned it about like, can people, when we talk about this marketplace idea, we've talked about it in so many different ways of like, could people put their music up there? Yeah. And then you could just link it into your stream. That kind of stuff we've thought about. And the really cool thing about us having gone the Moonstone approach from the get-go is it does allow us to facilitate all these really cool uses of marketplace kind of stuff and interaction, where people could license music, or people could buy music, or all these many different things they could do. And I think that's the route. Personally, you know, I can't speak for the whole team, but I lean that way of like making Moonbeam your one-stop shop for a lot of creator content, whether it's music, badges, images, overlays, whatever. Because I think I'm so proud to think that our marketplace is set up where if you sell an item, you get 100% of it. Like, you know, I'm very excited about that because I think it will be awesome for people of all kinds of creative entities. But yeah, Pat and Mike, thoughts on that subject? Music.
Yeah, I remember a conversation you and I had. It was a while ago. I mean, it was maybe like, it might have been last year, not even like 2024. It might have been like 2023 last year. And that was the subject of it, was music on the marketplace, and like building in ways where it kind of, the music doesn't just appear in the background, but it kind of follows wherever it's used. And so that creator always gets visibility and always gets credit for having that music as part of it, to again incentivize and help out creators to like build out that marketplace on Moonbeam. I think, you know, whether it's music or overlays or custom emotes, not dropping any hints about things maybe to come eventually, you know, all of those sorts of things, there should be some sort of mechanism where people can offer those for sale on Moonbeam, get paid, of course, and then, you know, kind of always be able to find where those assets are and where they're being used and how they're being used.
It's let's see here. We have a question kind of coupled with this from YouTube. Michael asked, I'll put it up here. So as in Channel A pays a couple Moonstones to play Channel B's music on their realm. I'm going to kind of, so I've thought a lot about this stuff, and my brain's just crazy full of stuff. So this is all just very brainstorming kind of ideas, but it goes to show the framework we set up with Moonstones, and revenue splits. Okay. I see it two ways. Hey, if we have a marketplace, there's a music category and there's people selling their music that they own, right? That they're the content creator for. They can sell it for Moonstones, like, hey, for $100, or sorry, not $100, for 100 Moonstones or 1,000 Moonstones, whatever they want. You could literally take this track and put it on any stream you ever want, right? Kind of deal. The second option is maybe someone says, hey, for 1% of your revenue on a stream that uses this track, you're good to go. So, you know, if you don't have any Moonstones to give, but you can give 1% of your revenue, you could use their music. So there's a lot of neat things that we've built in from the economy perspective through RevSplit and Moonstones that will allow creators to collaborate. Again, this is stuff we learned in publishing, where I could have money up front and I could pay a flat fee up front, boom, to get work for hire kind of deal. Or I can do a revenue split and then get something that way that's fair, right? So I could, when I use this person's music in my stream, while I'm using that music, if someone gives me Moonstones, then that creator will get X% we agreed on. So yeah, I mean, stuff like that. Let's see here.
I love that idea. I think it's really cool. So it's like, and that like revenue splitting is so core to Moonstones and how we've architected this. Again, yeah, there's a lot that we shipped for alpha, but honestly, it was a lot of foundation. You know, like there are so many ways we can build this out, and it'll be so cool to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Let's see here. Really, really excited. Let's see. We got some other questions and stuff here. So, Michael, thanks for the live tech support for adding those 14 people to Android. That's really cool. We got Tyra Firesong. The Candela Obscura soundtrack is available to be used for streams. That's true, and it is super cool.
Oh, is it really? I haven't heard it yet.
Oh, it's dope.
Oh, really what? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
we're gonna find it.
If you can find it like on Spotify or any of the and I know on like Spotify they have, like, if you look up like royalty free streaming music, they'll have some playlists that are built for that people can use too, which is really cool. Let's see this. Let's see what other questions we got here. Music marketplace with the TTRPG section. Yes, Syrup. Yes, and that goes into the whole selling of anything, modules, books, pictures. I don't know, fun stuff. That's kind of like our long-term vision with it, is that there's no reason all that stuff shouldn't be there, because it can help people create better content together. Let's see what other questions we got. Noob question. All right, from Bob. Nothing. This is, we're all newbies to Moonbeam, I guess, technically. So this is, let's see.
Moonbeam is only 1 month old. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. Alpha's looking great, but I take it access to the alpha does not necessarily allow creation of a realm. Not seeing that option. So the realm option is available in a way. Right now, it's only available to the folks that backed us on BackerKit at the realm owner tier. Now, if anybody was a backer on BackerKit at a lower tier and wants to upgrade, that has happened for a lot of folks. You can get a realm that way. And there are other things we can do to help folks get a realm. It does cost in alpha because that's something we offered to make sure that we had realm owners kind of taken care of as we work through all the bugs and stabilize the platform. At full launch, anybody can make a realm and people can have multiple realms. But right now, that's kind of why they're more exclusive, is they were for our backers to make sure that we set them up and got things tested out and stabilized and whatnot. Pat, want to add anything to that?
No, I think that summarizes it pretty well.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I mean, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, like in the future, it is definitely the goal that people can spin up realms whenever they'd like.
Mm-hmm.
But during alpha and probably, I guess, also during beta, I need to review the timeline a bit. There were people who bought access to the realms, and so we want to make sure they get their realms, and then all the bugs and things are figured out, and the badges, all that sort of stuff. The rewards from the Backer Kit are distributed to our wonderful early adopters. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We have another question here from Alan. Timeline for VODs or pre-recorded content on the realms? It's a good question.
That is a great question. So right now, you can definitely create posts with those YouTube links. We definitely suggest doing that if you do have pre-recorded content. If you have pre-recorded content, you can also still stream that to Moonbeam. That's still very, very possible. We've had a couple realms do that already. For VODs specifically, I don't have a specific date for that, but it's definitely something that we're designing around. And
do you think that'd be something like beta or full launch or later, like in that broad stroke?
I'd have to imagine beta.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd want to put that up before full launch, but it may be an early or a fast follow feature released at general launch. Yeah.
And we have now, I know, and Michael, maybe you know about this because I think you're working on it at one point, but we were looking at YouTube's embed feature where you could port over someone's library. Any thoughts on that? Or
so that's a form of VODs that we will have, that we could have sooner than beta. That requires more approval from Google, which we know how long that takes. But once that goes through, then you can sort of upload videos as posts on your profile. It's not really like VODs, but it's similar.
It's a form of VODs, yeah. And this goes back to just being transparent. Infrastructure costs, right? It's very expensive to support VODs at large, for space and all that. So we've looked at how we can leverage existing capabilities until we raise the sufficient capital we need to then support that. So we're running really lean still, and so that's kind of the calculus behind it. But yes, is the takeaway. It's just a matter of time.
Yep.
Just a matter of time. Let's see here. Herblix, I hope I got that right. Sounds kind of like Oblex, one of the oozes from D&D. A very nasty creature, by the way. Let's see here. I know we're in the early stages, and I think it's going great. Thank you very much. And Pat and the engineers here and Michael and them have all been very, very key to that. Is there a roadmap or milestone for being able to display chat in a stream overlay or access chat from something like Firebot or Nightbot? So what, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're asking if let me put this overlay up. Boom. So I'm on Restream and I got the chat overlay. They're asking about, can it pull in from Moonbeam and suck it up and put it in something like this?
That's what yeah. Michael, do you want to take a swing at that?
I mean, I think that's
These are
related
good
to
questions. These are the
the streaming
Keep
software
asking these
that you're
hard
using,
questions. Keep
right?
asking the hard
So-
questions because I use stuff like this, guys. Yeah, no, go ahead, Michael. Sorry, go. Yeah.
I think we need to integrate with like OBS or something like that to get that to work.
There's a lot of so I know from like using Restream that we would have to make outreach to them, which I've tried to get a hold of them, and I continue to, they're probably like, who are these people at Moonbeam? Whatever. But we kind of like gotta work with these third-party folks to get kind of approval, like the way we do with Google for some kind of integration, to get integrated. The takeaway from this is hell yes, because we are built on the foundation of multi-streaming and simulcasting everywhere. So that is crucial, right? Because I don't want to have my Restream chat open here right now where I can see everybody from YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook and X or whatever, and then have to have the Moonbeam chat open. So this goes back to us also being users of our own platform. The things that you might find lacking are the things we also do. Like I'm always telling them, like, hey, how do we get this stuff fixed because of XYZ? Because I don't want to have to use Moonbeam and not have that capability. So yes, like that is that's more in my lane in operations kind of stuff, to like make the outreach to those companies and make those deals happen. So,
I'll add on to that too some background. There are definitely things we can do along those lines, like exposing APIs where developers can kind of tap into those and then make these integrations happen with their own tools, their own bots, all that sort of stuff. That is a huge direction that we want to move in eventually, is having a really, really robust developer experience as well. I'm biased as a developer. I want one of those because already I kind of want to build a few buttons that can trigger effects on the stream overlay from Moonbeam directly, or chat bots too. So that is something we want to build out. And we don't have a timeline on that at all yet, not even like a general one, but it is something that we're looking at.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, let's see here if we got any other questions here. Nothing yet. Yeah, if we find a way to get OBS Streamlabs integration, we will definitely let you know. That's definitely on my priority list because I want that. Let's see here. What other stuff's on your all's mind, Mike and Pat? What excites us for the future? You're the ones who know this stuff because you're the ones making it. I just run my mouth. Like I give a bunch of ideas. That's about it. So yeah, give us a little peep into the crystal ball.
I think honestly, so we have one more release coming soon. That will be a very, very cool release. I'm super excited about that. That will have some cool features. So honestly, to everybody watching, if you're interested, refresh that changelog maybe over the next day or so to see some things that are on their way. Because yeah, there's some very cool things coming over the next couple of days. A lot of quality of life things that we again wanted to ship earlier, and to finally kind of have the puzzle pieces aligned to release. In terms of general things that excite me personally, I don't want to harp on badges anymore because I think we've talked about them enough. But I think how Moonbeam Plus works with badges, and how Moonbeam Plus can have a lot of badge-like things, different aesthetics, different kind of cool ways of presenting yourself and your personality on the platform. That's what I'm very keenly interested in. From just a pure feature development, what would I love to spend my day building? It would be that kind of the aesthetics. I'd love if We could have like themes and all this sort of stuff. Ways of really personalizing your space and your profile on Moonbeam. That just gets me so excited. Yeah.
Let's see here. We'll go. You got some other questions. Alan said, Pat and Mike gotta back the checks in Anthony's mouth writes. This is so true. That's why if you see on these AMAs, like when I'm about to say something, you can see Pat and Mike just get a little, just tense up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever
I was
you
just
like
about to say that.
Totally like off the top of my head, I'm like, oh God.
That's the good balance here, though. We have a good balance in Moonbeam, Let's see here.
Michael, do you have anything top of mind that you're like super excited about development wise?
There are a couple things that I am really excited about, but I'm afraid to say anything because I don't know how soon it's coming.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it at that.
That's the difference between engineers and someone like me. Engineers very careful what they say. Don't better watch out.
It's amazing.
Not even a teasing the idea, Michael. Not even a little tease. Nothing.
I will say there's a redesign coming to the mobile app that makes the home feed a lot better, and so you can you'll be able to see content from across all the realms that you're in one feed instead of having to jump around back and forth between realms. So I think that'll be huge.
Cool. Okay, let's see here. We got a few questions that we'll tackle. Meow. We already have sentiments built in, neutral, happy, etc. But what about mood responsive emotes? For example, if chat activity spikes during an exciting moment, emotes automatically animate and reflect the hype. Ooh, that sounds super fun. Like a Pixis kind of.
We talked about that.
I guess emotes and stuff. Yo, I don't know, something there. Any thoughts on if you like that, Pat? Or
yes.
Anything?
No, yeah. I love that a lot. There are lots of ways of doing it, and I'm really curious to get people's thoughts on it and what this might look like, honestly, because we've talked about that quite a bit and had a lot of ideas about it. It might look just like shipping some experiments and seeing if people like this one implementation or that implementation. Something that I don't want to do is conflate like bot activity with people activity, but I think it'd be really sweet to have like Pixis pick reactions and put them on messages and maybe make them look a little special so you know that it's that it is Pixis, that it's kind of automatic, pseudo-automatic, because I don't want people to think that it's like, oh yeah, we're using like bots to trick you or something like that. But there are a lot of very, very cool things to do on that front, and I'm really excited to ship a couple experiments.
I think it'd be kind of cute to have Pixis get almost excited by the hype. I don't know, and like have like I see like Pixis like or something. I don't know.
I would love it, yeah. Or like kind of just like throw emojis or like different emotes on the screen, because that would be so helpful too with like coming up with clips, right, to like share on different platforms. We have Pixis understands as best as a little guy can the sentiment of the chat, and when things are getting really hype and super exciting, it'd be amazing if that information was presented in a way where it's like, hey, by the way, chat loved this like 30 seconds of the stream. Maybe it was you just got you won the game. Maybe it was like this really funny moment at the game table, whatever it is. They loved this moment, and so it's like, okay, well, here, take this clip and then post it on your other socials. That would be huge. Like, that'd be so helpful. It would really cut down on editing time potentially, and be super fun. So yeah, there are so many things on Pixis.
We got one from Syrup. I like this one. What are we envisioning for the ability to follow creators' profiles directly outside of realms? We talked a lot about this. You all can go first, or I can go. I'll give you the first shot.
We actually, again, I don't want to. Maybe I'm pulling a mic here, and I'm teasing a little bit. But we are looking at that actually with push notifications. So that way, like when somebody you follow goes live, regardless of the realm they're in, you'd get that notification. So that way you do have that, like, oh, there's this creator that I like, and maybe that creator has a realm, maybe that creator doesn't have a realm, maybe that creator just streams to lots of realms and hangs out in all sorts of places. you know, you don't want to go searching through realms to find that one creator. So having that connection be really strong, I think it'll start with push notifications when that person goes live, and whether that's like a push notification or an email or just, you know, a badge on the bell icon on the site, whatever your notification settings are. But having it so that you can be alerted to their activity. Mike, do you have anything to add on that?
Sorry, I'm a little distracted by the chat.
No, you're good.
No, I have nothing to add to that.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I think, you know, Sirp, I'm not sure if this is where your head was at with it, but I looked at like things like the posts and communication, like things. I don't want to say like Twitter, you know, but like those feeds where people can see like what people have been talking about in almost like a blog like format, and using the post for that to be a way to help improve the why I follow someone who's maybe just a creator, or maybe they just write really cool stuff. Because I'm also interested in thinking of like being a creator is more than just video content. It can be written content, and how do we make that something that is also incorporated within somebody you follow? Right now, when you click on someone's profile, you'll see all their posts they made. So we're kind of like getting there a little bit, but we are looking at ways to really make that more robust of a thing. Some things that may or may not happen in the future could be like ways to support them with moonstones on a subscription kind of like basis, but with the creator themselves, right? So there's a lot of cool stuff we could kind of play around, because we do realize creators need to stand on their own and not necessarily be like tied to a realm to exist. And the same vice versa, like realms should be able to exist without, I mean, some of them might just be cool places people hang out and chat, and not really where content creation is occurring. And so we kind of want both that. And I think to your point, we are thinking and looking at ways to really make the I follow this person to kind of have a similar vibe as Blue Sky or Twitter or X or whatever, the same kind of weight. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Let's see here. Captivator. Speaking of cool things, any update or timeline on realm icons, realm headers, and supporting animated banners for extra flair? Ooh, that's cool. Like the MySpace glow up of realms. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, lots of good ideas. I want to. I think it's just after this week, I want to make like Jira tickets for all of these messages and just be like, oh, we got to build that. We got to build that. So I can start building out that release schedule for next week. These are all amazing, amazing ideas. Yeah, I think any update timeline on realm icons, realm headers, supporting animated banners for extra flair. No timeline on it yet. It's something we've talked about. I'd love to know more, like kind of what direction you see that going in. There are definitely some things that we can do, like, you know, animated realm icons, even animated reactions to things. We've thought about putting that in Moonbeam Plus a bit. So all sorts of things we can do with that sort of direction.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a big fan of that. I think that excites me. Seeing each realm have its own unique kind of vibe. That's really cool. Keith, hey, what's up, Keith? We got one from Keith here. Let's see. You know, if those mood assessments detect a lot of hostile chat, it might be interesting if they triggered some kind of cooldown mechanism, like issuing a warning and pausing chat, or putting it on a delay or something. I will say what I think that we can do that eventually with the technology Pat's building here. What I would say my head goes to is that is a capability or a tool that we would want to empower the creator or whoever owns that space. We'd want to empower them with, so they could set that up, like to do those kind of cooldown periods or whatnot. Pat, Mike, what do you think?
I think building that in would be super awesome. Something where it's like, oh yeah, like clearly something's happening here. Like there's a lot of hostile chat coming from a lot of different people, all seeming a little coordinated. Having Pixis be able to assist in mitigating that would be huge. Whether that's like setting custom cooldowns, or honestly, even just like if Pixis detects something with like a certain kind of confidence, and it's like, hey, yeah, like this is definitely like super violent language or something like that. Even just kind of automatically timing somebody out for a couple minutes, I think would be huge. Yeah. So there's definitely like macroscopic things we could do of, oh yeah, like this could help us find, you know, bad actors, like maybe acting in coordinated ways across the platform, but also just like making the one-off kind of disappear too. Maybe it was wrong, maybe you correct it and lift the timeout. But yeah.
It's gonna be you know, there's something cool. Like what I like about Pixis too, assisting with human moderation, and we're always very keen to say that, assisting with human moderation, right? Because we want the human in the loop there. Is from a psychological perspective, it always allows you to blame Pixis. Like it wasn't me who did that. Like I didn't stop you. Like it was Pixis, you know. Like because there's always like, you know, sometimes you don't want to be that person, and I think Pixis could take the blame, and I think that's okay.
Yep.
I think that's the role of Pixis.
I think it's kind of nice. It's always nice to be like, oh, it's just Pixis. Like, hey, my bad.
Yeah.
I think that's a good. It does kind of, it makes it less awkward, you know.
Yeah.
Like talking with creators, especially when creators are starting to like kind of get a consistent audience, and when they're starting to get sort of, I guess, like discovered in a sense on these platforms. The fear of kind of losing that when you do want to enforce your community guidelines and kind of compromising on that, it's not a good position to be in. So ways of just being like, oh no, it's Pixis, it wasn't me. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
You know, Pixis will take the fall there. Yeah, blame the bot. Hashtag blame the bot. I love that.
Blame the bot. Blame the bot. Yeah, that's what we're here for, you know. Let's see here. Ooh, any thoughts on my old sub-realm suggestion? Yeah, I mean, that was one we liked, where we thought about the you know, having a parent realm and then maybe smaller segments kind of affiliated, or a guild or an association, an alliance. You know, any thoughts, Pat, Michael, on that kind of thing? Affiliated kind of realms together?
I'd love that.
Or the sub realms.
I think even just like things where, okay, maybe somebody's streaming in your realm, or honestly, maybe even like a tab in your realm that's like, hey, these are my other realms. Like these are just people that I like. These are communities that I really like. Some way of kind of allowing a realm owner to say like, yep, these are all good. In terms of sub realms, really interested to see how that evolves. You know, we have like different chat rooms, different channels, posts even can maybe be leveraged that way. Potentially like playlists with VODs could play into that too. So yeah, definitely eager to explore that.
Nice. Well, we got 3 minutes, so I'm going to run through the last questions we had hanging out there. We're just going to knock them out, and then we're going to wish you all a good weekend. We don't want to take up any more of your time than you've already given us, because we're so appreciative of everything. And then quick plug, Evil Hat tomorrow has a big stream. If you back their dice pool campaign, they're doing it at 9 a.m. Pacific, which would be 11 Central, 12 noon. But it's going to be cool to see Evil Hat. They've been rocking and rolling and getting excited for that. So I'm looking forward to seeing them on Moonbeam tomorrow. But last few questions here. We got, let's see here. Pixis plushies. That's a very important one. I want to see that someday soon. Is there a way for two streamers, if they're in the same realm and one shuts down, you go to the other person, kind of like a raid? We've talked about these kind of raid-esque features. So those are something in the work. I think more towards probably like full launch, that stuff would be there. Right, Pat? If I'm not wrong. Like the kind of moving over to raids and all that jazz. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me see if there's any other last ones. Well, I think we're getting there. I think we kind of close it out. Well, look, final questions and thoughts from either of you for the audience here. Oh, We hit 1,000 people today on Moonbeam. We did. We hit 1,000. Yeah. So, all right, Pat, over to you and Mike.
No, I'm just super excited. I mean, this was an incredible week. Honestly, y'all, like the starting Monday to this point, wild. Like there's so many things that we shipped. So next week will probably look like observing error rates and seeing if we broke the platform. You know, we'll figure it out in real time. Hopefully not. And I'm kidding, mostly. But we'll see. And yeah, we're hoping to maintain this cadence. We're really, really excited to continue delivering these features. Some of the features that we released are like great. I still love that tip message that appeared. So super, super excited about it all. It's been amazing. 2025 is looking like a great year for Moonbeam.
Yeah, there's so many features that we're planning on making, and there's been so many just this stream that have come up that we want to make now. So we're gonna be really busy.
Yep. I know. Yeah, I'm gonna go through the stream chat and just make a bunch of Jira tickets. That's what we need. That's the first bot that we need. Pixis needs to be able to like convert stream chat messages into Jira tickets.
This is I'll leave everybody on this final note here. You know, alpha is interesting because it is we're stabilizing the platform, we're building the foundation, we're making everything strong. So when we start to open up, it's going to be the best place on the internet, right? We were not expecting this kind of growth. Like we're not open, like it's you all that are inviting your friends into Moonbeam. And it's neat to see the passion and people are invested just as much as we are to see a better place on the internet. And it's growing in a way that surprised us because we're not open for business yet, so to speak. And we're going to get there. And what it tells us is when we get there, the floodgates are going to be open. And it's going to be because of the relationship we've had with you all in alpha to help build that strong foundation of what do people want to see. It's reflecting what you want to see, which reflects what people want, right? And then on the stuff I've been working on, you know, we are ramping up again back to outreach to folks that can help us with additional funding. That's going really well. Pat knows I'm in the mines. Like that whole process is for a whole other stream about what a crazy world that is. Okay. I don't even know. It's wild, but we're looking really good. And again, it's going to be very exciting that we have a strong mission set, ethos, philosophy, and I feel morally good about what we're doing. And I think that we might show people you can be a morally good company and platform and be successful. And you don't have to trick people. You can be transparent. And I don't know. I get, you can see I get passionate about it because that's what I believed. And I think we're doing it and it's playing out the way we thought. And it's like, we weren't crazy. So anyway, thank you all so much for the trust and faith in us. And hell yeah, let's go.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
So, all right, everybody. Well, hey, take care out there in Moonbeam Land. We'll see you around and check us out.